All right, we're going to go into Ron Bloomingkemper, chairman of Freedom Equity Group right now. Ron, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
All right, I'm glad you're here. You've been back on the show now. All right, Ron, give our audience some background. You're chairman of Freedom Equity Group, but some background on the company, what they do, and then I want to get into all the questions I have for you.
Sure, thank you very much. The background of the company is we started in 2002. New products were launched. We're in 50 states. We've got close to 480,000 clients. We've done over $42 billion of face amount in business. We're the leading carrier, or leading our crusade, which is every year 6 million people are diagnosed with a heart attack, stroke, or cancer. 70% of those people will not die, and more than half will go bankrupt in the process. So we've come out with a product with some awful big carriers, the largest in the industry, AIG, some other big names out there, all 100 years old, billions in assets, with an insurance product you don't have to die to collect. In other words, you could become your own beneficiary while you're still living. We've got some documentaries on Fox News, Bloomberg, etc., on our website. They can be seen of testimonials from people that instead of going bankrupt, when their income stopped, we paid them up to 90% of the face amount of that policy they owned. The recent one we just paid was a single mom, bought a $480,000 term product. We paid her that much money when she got sick with cancer, couldn't work anymore. So what we do is exciting. It's replacing old product with new product. There's 150 million of those products out there in the marketplace. Less than 3% of the people really know about this. So we're out there spreading the word through distribution and recruiting. And to date, we've hired about 38,000 new associates. That's in the last 5 years. And we're number one with 4 major carriers in the United States. So we're trying to do a good job, but there's so much of it to do out there, we need help.
Ron, that is a great accomplishment. It just goes, right to the bottom line of what you do, not only for your company, the shareholders in your company, but the people that work with you. Now, I understand we got about 2 minutes left in this segment. We're going to talk again on another segment after the break. But I understand that you are actively, as you mentioned, but I'm going to drive it home here, actively looking for new representatives, sales in the sales management part of your company. Can you speak to that just for a minute?
I appreciate that. Yes, when you look at the industry, it's so large that today there's half the agents there used to be in the United States. The population is down that much, but we have 100 million more people. So when you look at an industry as far as a career change, and you've got something where half the people that serviced it are gone, and the average age of those people left in it are 60, and then you look at the fact there's 100 million more people in our country, and half of them didn't save a dime last year, 70% really can't write a check for $400. You got to think that what a great career to get into, to teach people not only about how money works, but to insure their family whether they live, die, or get sick. So the new associates, we train them from the ground up, scratch. We like people that weren't in the industry so we can train them the way we think they need to be trained properly to service the agents properly so that they do exactly what they need and can afford. And so we're looking for new associates in every state. My last company I sold, I had 400 offices in Houston when I sold it, in Houston alone. And today, I've got one office in Houston doing what we do. So we don't sell anything. We replace all the old stuff with the new stuff. And if we can do a better job mathematically, it's an easy business to get into. So we're looking for new associates that want a career change, part-time or full-time.
God, Ron, let's take a break. I'm going to get into sales and growth and corporate projections on the other side, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ron Bloomingkemper, Chairman, Freedom Equity Group, freedomequitygroup.com. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. All right, we've got Ron Bloomingkemper. He is the chairman of Freedom Equity Group on the show with us. All right, Ron, when we left off, we were talking about how people can get involved with you and what kind of future that they can have. Give us some background. Talk about, the management, the pay scale in the last 3 years, what you've done there, and then, the overall sales, what's been going on with the company.
I appreciate that. I was just looking. I've been in the business for 48 years, and at 65, my partner called me and said, "You need to get back in the game." I said, "Why?" He said, "There's a paradigm shift in the industry. There's products out there that have never been seen before." So when we put the company together, we put a company together where we share in the ownership of the company with the agents that qualify 50% of the ownership. The last company we packaged and sold, it took us 4 years to build it. We sold it for a considerable amount and gave 2/3 of it to the agents. We're sharing half of it with the company. So when you look around the industry, you're thinking about financial service industry, think about this. Not only do we pay top commissions, over 110 people last year, 6 and 7 figure incomes were promoted in 1 year. But we give half of the ownership, if and when we ever sell it, to the agents that helped us build it. That's the only way you can build a structure where the persistency is going to be good, the quality of business is going to be good, and the agents have a vested interest, not only in the clients they serve, but to make sure that the clients stay on the books and they do a good job for them. So we've been in the recruiting game for a long time. I got back in, and when he told me, he said, "Look," he said one thing to me. He said, "There's an insurance product out there. You can become your own beneficiary while you're still living." It got my attention. So saying all that, we put this thing together about 5 years ago, and it exploded on the scene. The guy that invented this product is the former chairman of AIG, the largest financial service company in the world. He came to Houston, where I live, and he said the thing that disappointed him is agents didn't know how to sell it. And I said, "Well, we do, and we are." And he retired 2 years ago. We put him on our board of directors, and we developed our own private label products for this. So it's an extreme competitive edge in the financial service industry when you have a product nobody else has that takes care of the customers, and we prove it mathematically like we do. Live, die, or get sick, we protect their most valuable asset, their income. And if you've ever seen anybody where their income stopped, it's devastating. There's no need for that to happen, probably for the same or less money than they're already spending. Mortality has increased. People are living longer. And the number one fear in retirement is running out of money, and we can solve that problem with some of our products. So thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Talk to me about the numbers here, because you're exploding. Your company's going great, but you got the highest paid management in 3 years, $1.9 million in sales, in 1 year, $512,000. I wanted to understand your growth rate and your projections. Can you give us anything without getting yourself in trouble about too much information?
I agree. The $1.9 million was our highest paid agent last year. Has been with us 3 years. That's a guy that built an agency and overrides the agents he trained. The $512,000 was the highest paid individual sales guy that's been with us 1 year. So that's the kind of numbers that can be earned in what we do. As far as clients, we've added 180,000 clients since we started. We're in 50 states. There's a big need for what we do in every city in the United States. It's just we've got to go out there and do a great job recruiting and training and building these people. You have to be licensed, which isn't that hard to do. So it's required to be able to move our products. So saying all that, we look for a bright future with no end, because every month that we go out there and probably replace a lot of that old stuff, they sell about 20 times more than what we're doing. So to me, it's called job security. Love what we do for people and to help them financially. So that's some of the numbers that we've done the last few years, which is getting a lot of attention in the industry. We've had contact by Blackstone, one of the largest, as you know, people on Wall Street,
right.
Very interested in what we do. They bought one of our companies recently to form a stronger alliance. So it's a great opportunity for people to look at as a career change or part-time opportunity for income.
Now, let me make the distinction here. You're not requiring everybody to run to an office and do it the old-fashioned way. You give them the flexibility that they're working virtually as well as having an office. Am I correct on that?
Absolutely. Some of the products that we sell are marketed on the Internet. We've had guys make 3 sales in 3 different states in one day sitting in their home. No longer do they get in the traffic and go through LA traffic to get from one spot to the next, which takes up 2 or 3 hours, laundry bills, gas bills. Today, the baby, not the Gen X's and the younger groups, they know technology. They know how to pitch these things with technology. We have what's called e-apps, where it can be done online, non-med, no blood, up to $500,000 with some of these carriers. So everything is so sophisticated today, it can all be done without ever really sitting down with a customer like the old days. Offices aren't required. All we require people to do is get licensed and come in and go through our training program, which we pay them to learn while they're going through it.
Wow. Ron, we've got to run, but thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ron Bloomingkemper, Chairman, Freedom Equity Group, freedomequitygroup.com. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba.